Evan Jackson from Young, Bold, and Regal. And touching on your last answer, talk about the emphasis of these women who would make and break the records for these hip hop acts before they were household names. And then those same women, their name would be in those same songs that they help break.
I think Cole can speak to that.
Yeah, I think that what we try to capture, one of the main pillars of this project was obviously the story of Atlanta hip hop. And in our very early conversations about this project, that was an interesting thing, was like, wait a second, there's this club that people have heard about. What if we use it as a vehicle to tell the story of hip hop's migration from the north to the south?
Mm.
And if you look at it, this club has really been at every key inflection point along the way. This club opens in 1985. There is no Atlanta hip hop to speak of. Um, Whoop, There It Is, one of the earliest, biggest hits to ever come out of the city, is literally born in this club and is originally called Whoop Magic City. And we really follow it all the way from that to the Outcast moment, to the Nelly Tip Drill moment, to, today with Quavo and Drake and so far in Future. So really like the biggest artists that have ever come out of this city were born in a very direct way in this club. And to touch on what Jamie said about the power of the women involved, none of that happens without the women dancing to the music. There's a whole economy that is created around paying dancers to pay the DJ to dance to the music so that your song, so the A&R in the corner, this is all like it all starts to happen in a really explicit way. And I think that that was one of the connections that we really tried to make clear is that this is not some abstract force. The hits that you listen to every day, the way that you see culture get shaped, it's a direct result of this club.
Talk about the clash between the mainstream finding out about more about Magic City. With Nelly's Tip Drill, there was controversy. He went on Oprah and he said this is very common. And then mainstream kind of found out more about Magic City. Talk about how you guys talk about that in your docu-series as well.
When you look at the early days of Magic City and interviews like DC the Brain Supreme, interviews like Jermaine Dupri, what they honored and loved about this place is that it was like a black box that, what happens in Magic City stays in Magic City. This is not a Magic City phenomenon. This is just like a product of where we are in the world and in time. There's very few things like that these days, right? Like the cell phone camera and TikTok and Insta, everything else has changed the nature of this place. So I think that a couple of things about that, though. One, even though that is the case, if you go into Magic City today, it is in the same building that it was in 1985, and very little about how this family business operates on a basic core level has changed. I mean, the same principles of customer service and tending to people. I mean, all of that, the same people are still running this place. So I think that even though a lot has changed around it, it is a time capsule in a lot of really special ways. And what that has provided for is even greater for opportunity for a lot of the women who dance there. So a lot of the women who dance there are now also influencers and are artists and are, and have been able to build brands and businesses on the backs of their relationship to this brand, because that is just a modern product of kind of where we are.